Before we get into anything, I just want to take a moment to reflect on something. When we say 25 years, it's not just a number, it's an years of experience, projects, decisions, things that work and things that didn't. It's learning that comes only with time, and that's what makes this special. I'm glad to be here speaking as part of Project H series, celebrating 25 years of PMI Pearl City Hyderabad chapter, because this platform brings together all those experiences and turns them into a shared learning. You have been in that meetings, the one where the project was perfectly green till last month and suddenly completely turned into red. And someone in the room, usually the most senior person, asks the question nobody wants to answer. How did we not see this coming? And I have sat in those rooms more than I can count. As a person called in when the things has already gone wrong, as a person responsible for figuring out not just what happened, but why nobody saw it earlier. And I want to tell you something that took me years to fully understand. The signals was always there, every single time. They were not hidden, they were not invisible, they were just right there in the data, in the conversations, in the room energy as energy. We just don't know how to read them as warnings. We read them as an explanations instead. Today, that changes. My name is Asingh Verma. I serve as a program manager at a Salesforce, and I lead high impact escalations. I don't join projects when they start. I join when conference is already broken. And everything I am about to share it with you, I learned the hard way inside the rooms, sitting across the frustrated executives, piecing together what went wrong and when it actually started. If you are watching this, you are already know this feeling. You've seen the sprint velocity drop in week 2 and told yourself the team is still settling in. You've seen key stakeholders go quiet in meetings and thought they're just busy in this quarter. You have seen change requests start creeping up and said scope evolves. That's just how project works. Each explanation felt reasonable. Each decision felt responsible. And yet, the project still end up in crisis. Here is what the research tells about the pattern. 30 to 50% of large transformation programs underperform globally. And in the Indian IT consulting landscape, where the timelines are aggressive, teams are stretched, and client expectations are high, that number is not lower, not because of catastrophic failures, because of cumulative drift that nobody named early enough. That is what conversations is about. That is what this conversation is what about today. Let me ground this in numbers for the moment. 30 to 50%. That is a percentage of large programs that underperform across the industries, across geographies, across experience levels. Now, what does underperform actually means? It means over budget, behind schedules, reduced scope, lost client trust, and team burnouts, and also leadership frustrations. It means a project manager sitting in a room being asked, "How did we not see this coming?" And when research study the root cause, the find is almost always identical. It is not a single catastrophic event. It was a series of small moments that were never addressed. Small deviations, small explanations, small decisions to wait and see the pattern has a name. It is called as a drift. Before I go deeper, I want to be honest about how actually experience risk. I do not see it in spreadsheets. I do not see it in dashboards. I see them in the tone shift, in the slight pause before someone answers a simple question, in the meeting that has an exact same agenda as last week, but a completely different energy, in the message that says all good but arrives 3 days late. When I walk into an escalation, I'm not reading the status reports first. I'm reading the room. I'm reading the body language, the tone, the people, the things people are carefully not to say. Escalations rarely begin with disaster, they begin with drift. The one realization, sitting in a room after room, change everything about how I approach this work. I want to tell you about a conversation that I had with one of the most experienced transformation leader I have ever met. I asked him a very simple question. How do large programs really fail? I expect him to say poor planning or a weak governance or lack of executive sponsorship or maybe unrealistic timelines or something like that. He paused for a long moment and looked at me and said something I will carry with me for the rest of my career. They don't fail loudly, they fail quietly. I learned it, and he told me about the program that he led, a large digital transformation, significant investment, senior stakeholder experience team. Month one, sprint velocity drops just slightly, not alarmingly, just slightly. In the next review meeting, the delivery lead says it's completely normal. The team is still onboarding to the new architecture, given it is just a month, just small sprint. Everyone in the room nods. It makes completely sense. And the month two, design approval start taking longer. 2 weeks becomes three, three becomes four. The solution architect says, we are being more thorough this time. Better to get the foundation right than move fast and rework later. Also reasonable, also sounds responsible. Month three, the key client stakeholder stops attending the weekly steering committee meetings. First week, travel, second week conflicting priorities, third week his team was representing him, and the program manager says he is fully aligned, we speak offline, don't read too much into the attendance. Still sounds manageable, right? In the month 4, change request increases, the scope shifts, the substitute but constantly. Conversations that are used to be collaborative start feeling slightly defensive. The room energy is steering meetings changes, but nobody names it because naming it feels like creating a problem, and everyone is hoping it will resolve itself. Progress was being reported every single week, risks was being logged in the risk register, status was technically yellow, the rag dashboard showed amber, not red. But stakeholder confidence, a real, genuine confidence in the program's direction, was quietly, slowly, invisibly drawing away. Then, in one quarterly business review, the the client executive sponsor said quietly, "We are being to lose the confidence in the direction of this program, not because of a missed deadline, not because of a system outage, not because of a budget overturn, because of the direction, because of the momentum, because of the trust." And he looked at me and said, that escalation did not start the day. It started 4 months earlier when we kept saying everything was fine. He called it as a slow fade, and that phase, slow fade, stayed with me ever since. I want you to stay with the face for a moment. They don't fail loudly, they fail quietly. Because if you're watching this, you have felt this. You have been in the meeting where something felt slightly off, and you told yourself, it's not big enough to raise it. Let me wait one more week and let me see how the next sprint goes. That moment, the decision to wait is where the drift lives, not in the disaster, in the silence before the conversation that needed to happen. Here is what made the story so powerful to me. Every single explanation that was rational, every single status update was technically accurate. Nobody was lying, nobody was hiding anything deliberately. But the accumulation of these individual rational moments created the collective irrational outcome, the complete collapse of stakeholder confidence. And here is the hardest truth every project manager and program manager needs to hear. Timeline recovery is hard. Budget recovery is hard. Scope recovery is hard. Trust recovery takes far longer than any of those. You can add resources to recover a timeline. You cannot add resources to recover trust. Escalations are almost never expensive at the beginning. They become expensive when they got ignored. Let me show you the pattern in a simple terms. Projects did not jump from green to red. They live in yellow. Yellow feels manageable. Yellow feels explanations. Yellow has a reasonable answer for every deviation, and that is exactly what makes yellow dangerous. Because when red finally arrives, it's always a sudden, but It was never a sudden. It was a sequence of yellow moments when they were each managed individually, but never seen as a collective story. Small deviation normalized, explanations accumulated, sensitive to warning signs dropped, until the trajectory, which was always visible, finally becomes undeniable. And and that brings me to one idea that I want you to carry out of this video. The one sentence I want to playing in your mind the next time you open your project dashboard is: risk does not explode, it drifts. Risk does not explode, it drifts. That shift is understanding changes everything. It changes what you pay attention to, it changes what questions you ask, it changes who you listen to and when. Let me make this practical. Early drift feels manageable because of it is small. Late correction becomes expensive because it is compounded. And trust recovery takes longer than any of the timelines recovery ever will. Think about a last escalation you witnessed or lived through. When you look back honestly, where the signals they are 2 months earlier, 3 months earlier, almost always, yes, the signal was there. The interruption came too late, and by the time it was named, the cost has already been multiplied. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Traditional risk management works: identify, log, review, and react. It is structured, disciplined, essential, and non negotiable. But here is a fundamental limitation: it was designed for events, not for trajectories. Think of it this way: as a risk register is a small smoke alarm. It tells you when the fire has already started. Risk intelligence is like a fire marshal who notices that someone has been leaving oily rags near a heat source for 3 weeks. One reacts to the event, the other reads the trajectory. Here is the core tension I want you to hold off. Risk register capture possibilities. Escalations emerge from patterns, velocity drifts, budget creep, delayed decisions, stakeholder silence. Each one individually looks manageable. Collectively, there is a story. And that story is always telling you something. We were trying to track events. Risk intelligence requires us to read the directions. There is a psychological reason, a very human reason, why we miss drift even when the data is right in front of us. It is called normalization bias. The first delay feels uncomfortable, you notice it and you flag it internally. The second delay feels familiar. This happens in the last sprint too. The third delay feels normal. Our tolerance increases, our sensitivity drops, and drift hides perfectly inside that comfort. The NASA space shuttle in Columbia disaster in 2003 is one of the most studied examples of normalization bias in the organizational decision making. Engineers has seen the foam shedding on the previous launchers. Each time it was explained, each time the mission continued safely until the time it did not. The foam shedding was not a new event. The decision to normalize it. Your project are not space shuttles, but the technology is identical. Drift doesn't screams, it whispers. And the whisper gets quieter the longer you work inside the same environment. The transformation I am taking about is not about new tools or the new processes. It's conjugative. Old question is what went wrong? And now the new question is where are we heading? The shift from past to future, from event to trajectory is what separates truly an exceptional program leaders from competent ones. Project managers manage tasks, program managers manage delivery. Exceptional leaders protect trajectories. Leadership is not tested when things turn red, it was tested while they are still in a low. So, what does risk intelligence actually look like in a practice? If I distill everything I have learned across years of escalations into one sentence, risk intelligence is attention applied early, and it resets on four capabilities that one any project or program manager can build starting tomorrow. One, continuous sensing. 2. Pattern recognition. 3. Scenario thinking. And 4. Psychological safety. Stop watching only milestones. Start watching trend lines. Ask yourself three questions every single week, not every quarter. Okay? Is response time from the stakeholder increasing every even slightly? Is rework trending upwards over the last three sprints? Is the energy in my steering meeting different from the last 4 weeks ago? A snapshot tells you where you are, a trend tells you where you are going. The decision predicts the escalations. One issue is noise, repeated drift is signal. When you see the same type of problem appearing across 2, 3 consecutive weeks, stop explaining it individually. Start treating it as a pattern. Name the pattern out loud in the room to your team, to your stakeholders. The act of naming it itself is a de escalation tool. And once you name it, simulate it forward. If nothing changes for next 30 days, what break first? Capacity, budget, stakeholder conference, or client relationship? The one question asked honestly, asked answered honestly, will tell you more about your program, real health, than any dashboard that you have ever built. The, early, the earlier you simulate failure, the less likely you experience it. This is a capability that most leaders undervalue. And I want to say something that may challenge how you think about it. Dashboards do not escalate, people do. In the teams way people feel genuinely safe, raising concerns, signals surface earlier. In teams where the people feel that raising concerns reflect poorly on them, signal surfaces late. Psychological safety is not people management concept. It is early warning detection infrastructure. Without psychological safety, drift stays silent, and silent drift is most dangerous kind. So, what do you actually do differently starting tomorrow morning? Three habits, nothing more. Habit 1: define your signal metrics. Don't just log risks. Know what early drift looks like specifically in your project. Write down the three early warning signals before your next sprint starts. Habit 2: review trajectory, not just statuses. Add one question to every steering review: what is trending and what is not. Just where are we? Okay, and that question changes every conversation. Habit 3: simulate forward every month. Ask your team, if nothing changes for 30 days, what breaks first? Make it as a ritual. Put it in your calendar. Do it every even when everything feels fine, especially when everything feels fine. No new tools, no new processes, no new bureaucracies, just sharper questions and sharper attentions. I want to leave you with something: that risk registers manage probabilities, intelligence manages trajectories. The probability is static. The trajectory moves. The risk whispers before it screams. Through tone, through trends, through the meeting that felt slightly different, through the stakeholder who stopped asking questions, through the team member who used to push back and suddenly stopped. Risk doesn't explode, it drifts. And the leaderly, exceptionally memorable leadership is ability to notice drift early enough to change the direction. Give yourself that ability, give your teams that ability, give your programs that ability. Because the question is never just where are we? The question is always where are we heading? If that's made you think even for a moment about one program you are leading right now, if something is here felt uncomfortable, familiar, if you are already thinking about it, which your project is living in right now, then this conversation worked. You don't need few frameworks to start tomorrow. You just need to have one new question: where are we heading? Where is this heading? if you if you want to keep exploring this thinking, I would like to connect with you on LinkedIn. The link is right on the screen. And if this resonates, share this video with one of the program or project manager, because this conversation our profession needs to be having. Leadership is not tested when things turn red. It was tested while they are still on yellow. Thank you. Before we get into anything, I just want to take a moment to reflect on something. When we say 25 years, it's not just a number, it's an years of experience, projects, decisions, things that work and things that didn't. It's learning that comes only with time, and that's what makes this special. I'm glad to be here speaking as part of Project H series, celebrating 25 years of PMI Pearl City Hyderabad chapter, because this platform brings together all those experiences and turns them into a shared learning.